We are back for more Diecast racing action at Rainier Rallycross. There you see Group 2 of the semifinals, and you also see RLO and Puff in the pits. Those are the two drivers who have moved on to the finals and will join two of these drivers after this race in the finals of the Fast and the Furious tournament here at Rainier Rally. Let's take a quick look at the four cars competing in today's race. We have Rage in that R34 Skyline, Dusty Miles in that GTX, then we have Cousin Ricky, as crazy as ever, in that Chevy Corvette, and last but not least, we have Daddy G from G-Force Diecast Racing in that Ford GT40. We're going to hop straight to the line, folks. It's gonna be a wild one, as most are at this Rainier Rallycross track. Place your bets on the two drivers you think are going to go through. Race 1, they're out of there as they're flying down the track. It looks like the Corvette and the GT40 are out front, but Dusty Miles comes out of nowhere. Dusty Miles is swirling in. Whoa! Dusty Miles takes out the camera guy and Megan the reporter. I didn't even get a chance to see the finish. We'll slow it down for you here. That, folks, is something you never want to see happen on a racetrack or in life. You never want to see someone get struck by a car. There you see Dusty Miles already out of control. He's up on two wheels as he comes over that overpass. Gets struck by Cousin Ricky. Flies, almost hits that cameraman. We freeze frame it there as that guy lost his toupee as Dusty Miles over top of them. And then strikes Megan the reporter and the cameraman that apparently has no name, undisclosed. But I failed to mention, look at this battle between Rage and Daddy G at the bottom of your screen. They were side by side over that jump, and there was so much happening, I didn't even get to see that. And there you see the freeze frame of Dusty Miles. He does cross the plane over the track, and he will take first place. Don't pay too much attention to that freeze frame because you do see someone getting splatted by a car. These people are made out of hard metal, and I hope there's no blood and guts anywhere. That's a beautiful GTX. I would hate to ruin the paint job. There you see a shot of Megan laying in the grass near the finish line. It appears she's still reporting, and this gentleman here that clearly hit his head on the tower post is still filming, and that is most likely because our employees at this track do not get workers' compensation, and he needs to stay at work to get a paycheck to feed his family. So he is still recording, and holy cannoli, there goes the National Parks ambulance, and it looks like there's someone riding on top. Is that Schmarvy from the Schmolchmy Schmearschmeis? It looks like Schmarvy. All right, folks, well, Megan and the camera guy are getting checked out by the paramedics. They will not return to the side of the track, but the show must go on. We will report back on them later, but it does appear they're going to be okay. I'm not sure how. That was a nasty, nasty crash. Race 2, you see Dusty Miles coming down over that jump. And folks, we have a 3-car race for second place. Wow, what a finish. That is the craziest thing we have possibly seen in Rainier Rallycross history, other than Cousin Ricky driving, well, Cousin Ricky's car driving down the track without Cousin Ricky in the car and smashing into the audience. That was probably the craziest thing, but this might be a close second. 3 cars wide, something you rarely see in diecast racing. And yes, folks, that is a little bit of foreshadowing for what you might see coming in our next track. You might see 3 cars wide. You might see 4 cars wide. You will see the craziest diecast racing action in the track we are about to announce in a couple short weeks. After 2 races, Dusty Miles is out front with 6. We have a tie for second with 5, and then 4 for the person in last. The scorecard disappeared before I got to see it. They're out of there for race 3. It looks like Daddy G is leading the pack as he is in lane 2. Daddy G crosses the finish line first, and crazy Cousin Ricky flips over and crosses the finish line on his hood. Good thing that Grand Sport Corvette has a roll bar to protect Cousin Ricky's beautiful hair. And is that the guy eating popcorn? It looks like he has a lady friend. Congratulations! It appears that if you are sitting by yourself eating popcorn all over the track and you show up every single week to this track, it turns out you might just have a little companion, a little friend. You might meet some people, have some fun, who knows, get married, have some kids. Anything is possible at Rainier Rallycross. Congratulations to the unnamed man eating popcorn that should have been kicked out of this track a long time ago for climbing on buildings. You now have a girlfriend, or maybe you're married already. Things happen fast here at Rainier Rally. Speaking of happening fast, these cars are out of there for the next race. Down the track they go. It looks like Daddy G is up into the 361st, but Cousin Ricky is in the fast lane. What will happen as they come to the finish line? Daddy G takes it, and Dusty Miles smashes that GTX off of something else yet again. I think Plymouth might want to change their slogan to "Like a Rock," because that GTX is built strong and for some reason is attracted to that finish line rock structure there. But something tells me that slogan is already taken by another brand manufacturer. So you're going to have to come up with something different, Dusty. I'm sorry. Again, Daddy G takes this race, Cousin Ricky second. Although Dusty Miles did bounce off the rock, he did cross the finish line first in third place, taking 2 points. It looks like Daddy G is pulling out just ahead of the pack, but Dusty Miles back to that fast lane, lane 2. Will he capitalize on this and get back in the running and maybe move on? I'm rooting for that GTX because I love that Cassidy, even though he is squirrely, and Dusty Miles does take it. Also, huge props to Dusty Miles for picking a muscle car that is long and sits off the ground much higher than the other competitors. Earlier in this tournament, we've seen a lot of those muscle cars be taken out by themselves, flying off the track, flying out of control. But Dusty Miles in that GTX has proven to be able to keep, I was going to say keep this thing on the track, but we've already seen he took out Megan the Reporter, he's hit the rocks. I'm not sure if he is actually keeping on the track, but he's keeping on the track long enough to cross the finish line. And then all HE double hockey sticks breaks loose. All right, Rage shifts over to the fast lane. Daddy G in lane 1, Dusty Miles in lane 3. Lane 3? What's a lane? I don't even know. But we're going for it. Lane 3. They're out of there. Rage out front. Daddy G contests, but Daddy G does not have what it takes to catch up to Rage in that fast lane. I want to tell you, Rage in that R34 Skyline, he looked to be one of the fastest in this tournament through his heats. His heats were other Skylines and other vehicles, and he shined. No one came close to touching Rage. But as we get into the semifinals and closer to the finals, these cars are, the slower cars are filtered out and the fast cars prevail. That Skyline does no longer seem as fast as it used to be. Will he be able to pull out a win and move on? Speaking about Rage, but he is in last place right now as they head into the second to last race. Daddy G slides over into the second lane, which is the fast lane. He, we know, will capitalize on this as long as he's able to keep it on the track, but he has been consistent, so I believe that is possible. And yes, it is, as Cousin Ricky spins around as he crosses the finish line. That man is going to be dizzy. We'll slow that down for you. It looks like Dusty Miles and Rage have a slight lead as they, hey, the guy with the popcorn is missing his girlfriend. What happened? Did they already break up? I'm going to check Twitter and see if there's any gossip about the situation. Please hold. Wait, Twitter is no longer Twitter? What? What's X? Mom! Have you checked Twitter lately? What's Elon doing? Did he rename the company? X? What's X? Well, apparently Twitter's no longer Twitter. It's a big X, and my mom says Elon is a wild one. Okay, race 4. They're out of there. It looks like Daddy G is out front, but Cousin Ricky's in lane 2. Will Cousin Ricky come out front? Cousin Ricky takes it, and there's a race for the finish between Dusty Miles, and Dusty Miles flies off the track again. Everything I said about Dusty Miles stands true. I love that car. It's built like a rock. He still crosses the finish line, but after the finish line, you just don't know what is going to happen. Cousin Ricky takes the win, and then there's a race for the finish between Dusty Miles, Daddy G, and Rage. We'll watch that GTX bounce off of the tree, land back on the track, and then roll back over onto the grandstands. We'll slow it down for you very, very slow. This is where it goes wrong. He hits that rock there on his left-hand side, catapults his car up into this tree, gets slingshotted by the Douglas fir, flies back onto the track, hits this gentleman in the head, smacks that other guy in the head. They're not even fazed by it, rolls back over, and no one's even looking at him. The security guards are watching the race that's already over, and nobody is paying attention to Dusty Miles. They're just cheering for, I'm not really sure what. Maybe they're still rooting for Megan to come out of her coma. All right, folks, this is the end of this video. Dusty Miles, unfortunately, did not have enough points to move on. Cousin Ricky moving on. Daddy G moving on. Thank you, Dusty Miles, for being here. Thank you, Rage, for being here. This has been the semifinals Group 2. Until next time, stay tuned, stay passionate, and get ready for more exciting moments on the track.